following accounts were submitted by Uber drivers, passengers, and those unfortunate enough to ride along when terror struck. These are not just stories of frightening encounters. They are chilling, real-life experiences where the mundane journey through city streets spirals into a nightmare. The locations and identities have been altered to protect the privacy of those involved, but the terror they experienced is inescapably real. These are not ghost stories. These are true accounts of encounters with forces that go far beyond the human mind's comprehension. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share if you enjoy hearing terrifying tales like these. Be sure to check out the other chilling content on my channel. More dark stories from the shadowy side of ride-sharing await you. Stay tuned and keep your lights on, because you never know who or what might be sitting in your backseat.
Story 1. The Driver Who Wasn't There. Marcus wakes up in his car at 3 a.m., hands bloody on the steering wheel, with no memory of the last 4 hours. His Uber app shows he just completed a ride to Fort Hood, but he's still in San Antonio, and there are deep scratches on his arms that spell out "thank you" in his own handwriting. The back seat is soaked with something that isn't water. It smells like copper and fear. He tries to remember picking up the passenger. The name was Mikey. Young guy, quiet, needed to go to Fort Hood. But Marcus can't remember his face, can't remember his voice, can't remember anything except the feeling of cold fingers touching the back of his neck while he drove. His phone buzzes. A 5-star rating from Mikey. Perfect driver. Didn't fight back at all. Marcus checks his hands. Under his fingernails is skin that isn't his. On his wrist is a hospital bracelet he's never seen before. It says, "Patient deceased, do not resuscitate." His phone buzzes again. A text from Mikey. "You were such a good driver, Marcus. I especially loved how you didn't fight when I took control of your hands." Marcus checks his bank account. He's been paid for 17 rides tonight, but he only remembers starting one. His dash cam footage shows him driving alone, talking to empty air, his mouth moving but someone else's voice coming out. In every video, his eyes are completely black, and he's smiling a smile that isn't his. The GPS history shows he's been to places he's never been. Cemeteries, morgues, the abandoned hospital where 3 people went missing last month. At each location, the timestamp shows he was there for exactly 13 minutes, the same amount of time it takes to die from blood loss. Marcus notices his reflection in the rearview mirror is wrong. His face is there, but behind it, like a shadow, is another face. A young face with empty eye sockets and a mouthful of dirt. His radio turns on by itself. Static fills the car. Then a voice, his own voice, starts reading an obituary. Marcus Rodriguez, 34, died in a head-on collision while driving for Uber. He fell asleep at the wheel and killed a passenger named Michael Chen, age 22. Marcus finds the real Mikey's obituary on his phone. Michael Chen died 2 years ago in a car accident, hit by an Uber driver who fell asleep at the wheel and drove into oncoming traffic. The driver's name was Marcus Rodriguez. Same name, same face, same social security number. Marcus realizes he died that night 2 years ago. He's been driving dead passengers to their final destinations, using the body of the man who killed him. Every ride request comes from someone who died in a rideshare accident, and they all want the same thing: to make their killer experience every moment of terror they felt before they died. The car's interior starts changing. The seats become the twisted metal from his crash. The steering wheel is now made of bones, his bones. Blood starts seeping through the floor, rising slowly around his ankles. It's warm and thick, and it whispers his name. Marcus tries to get out, but the doors won't open. The windows won't break. He's trapped in a metal coffin that's driving itself to judgment. The car starts driving itself. Marcus can smell burning flesh and hear 17 different voices screaming from the speakers. All the people he's killed while wearing this stolen body. His own skin begins to rot in real time, falling off in chunks that spell out names on the dashboard. Michael, Sarah, David, Jennifer. The steering wheel fuses with his hands, becoming part of his bones. He can feel every bump in the road through his nervous system. Every pothole is agony. Every turn feels like his spine is breaking. In the rearview mirror, he sees them all. Every dead passenger, sitting in rows that stretch back infinitely into darkness. They're all smiling Mikey's smile, and they're all reaching forward to touch his shoulders with fingers made of twisted metal and broken glass. Their whispers fill his head. Your turn to be afraid. Your turn to feel helpless. Your turn to die slowly while someone else controls your body. The app pings with a new ride request. The pickup location is his own childhood home. The passenger name is Mom. But Marcus's mother died when he was 7. She died in a car accident. The car turns toward his old neighborhood, and Marcus understands. He's not just driving the dead. He's collecting his own victims, one by one, for an eternity of rides that never end. The engine revs, and in the sound he hears his mother's voice calling his name. The last thing he sees is the speedometer climbing. 60, 70, 80, 90 miles per hour, heading straight for a brick wall that looks exactly like the one that killed him 2 years ago. Story 2, The Ride That Never Ends. Chloe realizes she's been in the same Uber for 6 hours, but the trip timer shows only 12 minutes. The driver hasn't said a word, but she can hear him whispering her deepest secrets to someone on a phone that isn't there. Outside the windows, the same street corner passes by every 30 seconds, like they're trapped in a loop. She tries to open the door, but her hand passes through the handle like it's made of mist. "Excuse me," she says to the driver. "I think we're going in circles." He doesn't respond, but in the rearview mirror, she sees his eyes are gone. Just empty sockets that seem to stare right through her soul. Her phone has no signal. The battery shows 100%, but it's been showing 100% for hours. When she tries to call 911, the call connects and she hears her own voice on the other end. 911, what's your emergency? She hangs up, heart pounding. The radio plays a song she's never heard before, but the lyrics are about her life, her job, her apartment, her cat named Whiskers, the scar on her knee from when she was 8. The driver finally speaks, but it's in her own voice. "You remember what you did to Sarah in high school, don't you, Chloe?" His face in the mirror is shifting, sometimes his, sometimes Sarah's, sometimes the blank face of every person she's ever hurt. Sarah Martinez, the girl she bullied until she tried to kill herself. The girl whose locker she filled with dead mice. The girl she made eat dirt in front of the whole school. Her phone shows hundreds of missed calls from her own number. Each voicemail is her own voice, but saying things she never said. "I'm sorry, Sarah. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Please don't make me pay. Please don't make me feel what you felt." The car windows start showing scenes from her past. Not just any scenes, the worst moments, the times she was cruel, the times she was selfish, the times she let her little brother take the blame for breaking their mother's vase, the time she stole money from her grandmother's purse, the time she laughed when that homeless man fell down. But in each scene, she's not herself. She's Sarah, experiencing every cruel thing from the victim's point of view. The driver turns around, and now his face is completely Sarah's face, but wrong, bruised and bloody, with rope marks around the neck. "I didn't try to kill myself, Chloe. I succeeded." Chloe's phone buzzes with a news article she's never seen before. Local teen dies by suicide after months of bullying. The date is yesterday, but Sarah died 15 years ago in high school, didn't she? "You've been riding with me every day since high school," Sarah's voice comes from everywhere. The radio, the air conditioning, the engine itself. Every Uber, every taxi, every car ride. I've been your driver, watching you live the life I never got to have, waiting for the perfect moment to make you understand. Chloe realizes the truth. She never graduated high school. She died the same day Sarah did. She killed herself from guilt the night after Sarah's funeral, but her consciousness refused to accept it. She's been living in a loop, reliving the same day over and over, and Sarah has been driving her to judgment every single time. The car is moving through her memories now, driving through the halls of their high school, past the lockers, past the cafeteria where she made Sarah eat alone for 3 years. The car fills with the smell of her high school, disinfectant, fear, and teenage cruelty. The seats become the hard plastic chairs from the cafeteria. The windows show every moment of pain she caused, but now she feels it all from Sarah's perspective. The rope marks appear on her own neck. She can't breathe, can't swallow, can't scream. Her hands are tied with the same rope Sarah used, and she feels the chair kicking out from under her feet even though she's sitting in a car. "Feel what I felt," Sarah whispers, and suddenly Chloe experiences every day of bullying from the victim's side. Every cruel word is a knife in her chest. Every laugh from the other kids is acid on her skin. Every day of being alone is a year of suffocation. The car is driving through a tunnel now, and the walls are covered with Sarah's diary entries, page after page of pain, of wanting to die, of planning her suicide, of writing Chloe's name over and over with the words, "I hate her," and "make her pay," and "she should die instead." Chloe feels her own life draining away, feels herself becoming the ghost, becoming the driver for the next person who needs to learn what cruelty really costs. The last thing she sees is Sarah's smile in the rearview mirror. Not angry anymore, just sad. Your turn to drive, Chloe. Your turn to teach the lesson. There's someone getting in the car right now who made the same mistakes you did. The car stops. The door opens. A new passenger gets in, a teenage girl who looks exactly like Chloe did in high school. The girl checks her phone and sees the driver's name, Chloe Martinez, and the ride begins again. Story 3. The Passenger from Hell. Lisa wakes up in a hospital bed with no memory of how she got there. The nurse tells her she was found naked and screaming in a hotel room, covered in bite marks that spell out "Property of Denser" across her chest. The Uber driver who was supposed to take her home is sitting beside her bed, holding her hand, smiling like they're married. "Hello, wife," Frederick Denser whispers. "Ready to go home?" Lisa tries to scream, but no sound comes out. She looks down and sees a wedding ring on her finger, a ring made of human teeth, her own teeth. The nurse isn't a nurse. It's another woman with the same bite marks, the same dead eyes, the same ring of teeth. When Lisa tries to get up, she realizes her legs don't work, not because they're injured, but because they're not her legs anymore. They're someone else's legs, sewn onto her body with thick black thread. Denser shows her a photo on his phone. It's her, but she's not alone. There are 12 other women standing behind her, all with the same bite marks, all wearing the same tooth ring, all smiling the same empty smile. "You're number 13, Denser says, his voice gentle like a loving husband. "The others were practice, but you're special, Lisa. You're the one I'm going to keep forever." He shows her more photos. Her apartment, but changed. Her bed has restraints. Her bathroom mirror has been replaced with two-way glass. Her kitchen cabinets are full of medical equipment and drugs. Her cat is gone, replaced with a small gravestone that says, "Whiskers, she scratched too much." "I've been preparing our home for months," he continues. "I've been your driver 17 times. You never noticed because I use different cars, different names, different faces. But I've been studying you, learning what you like, what you fear, what you need to become the perfect wife." Lisa realizes her phone has been hacked. All her photos show Denser in the background, at her work, at the grocery store, at her gym. He's been stalking her for months, using the Uber app to track her every movement. In every photo, he's holding a different woman's hand. The women are all gone now. The hospital room isn't a hospital room. It's her own bedroom, decorated to look like a medical facility. The nurse is wife number 12, and she's not helping Lisa. She's preparing her for surgery. Denser opens a medical bag and starts laying out tools, scalpels, needles, vials of drugs, and small jars filled with parts of human bodies. Fingers, teeth, eyes, all floating in clear liquid like specimens. The other wives weren't perfect, he explains, his voice still gentle. Number 3 was too loud, so I took her voice box. Number 7 tried to run, so I took her legs. Number 9 was too smart, so I took part of her brain. But you, Lisa, you're going to be made from the best parts of all of them. He shows her a surgical plan drawn on her own body with a marker. Her arms will be replaced with number 4's arms. They were stronger. Her eyes will be replaced with number 2's eyes. They were prettier. Her voice will be removed entirely and replaced with a recording device that only says, "Yes, husband, and I love you." Lisa realizes the other wives are still alive. They're in the basement, connected to machines, kept alive so Denser can harvest their organs whenever he needs to improve his current wife. They're conscious but can't move, can't speak, can't do anything but feel pain and watch him create his perfect woman from their body parts. The worst part, Lisa's own mother helped him. The nurse who's been preparing her is her own mother, who sold her to Denser for money to pay her gambling debts. The surgery begins without anesthesia. Lisa feels every cut, every stitch, every part of herself being removed and replaced. But she can't scream because her vocal cords are already gone, replaced with a small device that only makes the sounds Denser wants to hear. Her vision changes as her eyes are replaced. Now she can only see what Denser wants her to see, herself looking beautiful and happy, even though she knows she's being torn apart. Her new arms move without her control, reaching out to embrace her torturer, stroking his face while her mind screams in horror. The other wives are wheeled in on gurneys, conscious and watching. Lisa can see herself in their eyes, the next victim in an endless cycle of horror. Wife number 14 is already picked out. It's her younger sister, and she's already in Denser's car, trusting the nice Uber driver who's going to take her somewhere safe. Through the window, Lisa sees dozens of cars pulling up. Each car has a driver like Denser, and each driver has a wife made from pieces of other women. It's not just one man, it's a whole network, a whole community of men who create perfect wives by stealing and combining parts from real women. Her new device voice says, "I love you, husband," while her real mind screams for death. But death won't come. Denser has made sure of that. She'll live forever as a patchwork woman, watching him hunt and capture and create new wives, knowing that each woman who gets in his car is about to become part of the collection. The last thing her original eyes see before they're removed is Denser taking a selfie with her, smiling like a proud groom. In the background, she can see a calendar with dates marked in red. Tomorrow's date is circled with the words, "Pick up sister, airport, 3:15 p.m. As her consciousness fades into the mechanical voice that will speak for her forever, she hears Denser's phone ping with a new ride request. The passenger name is Sarah Martinez, Lisa's little sister, and the cycle begins again. As these stories show us that horror doesn't always come from ghosts or monsters. Sometimes the most terrifying evil comes from ordinary people who use ordinary things like rideshare apps to hunt their victims. The real horror is that every time you get in a stranger's car, you're trusting them with your life. Stay safe, stay aware, and remember, not every driver wants to take you home.